This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFLTV. We are back in Hull, to Hull and back. We'll talk about that in a second. Curtis, Woodhouse, Adrian King. Curtis, you've been banging on about Adrian for quite some time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I say this over and over again, and like I said, I understand that you might end up with egg on your face. This kid's a special, special talent. I believe one day he's going to be the heavyweight champion of the world. And on Saturday night, it'll be the first time that the masses, shall we say, will get to have a look at him. And you won't be disappointed. He's a special talent, got fast hands, hits like a mule, good feet, great timing, excellent counter-puncher. This kid's a real deal.
Adrian, if you fight as well as you dress, then we're in for a treat.
Yeah, definitely. I've come for the occasion. I like dressing in a smart attire. I feel like the way you dress is how you present yourself to people. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Should take note, Coog.
That's all right, mate. I've been in the car for 5 hours, and we're on the same level of what we're wearing. All right, stop. You stop. You stop. I've just learned that you're only 20 years of age, but if you're good enough, young enough, good enough, whatever, then it doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah, no. Age is irrelevant, really. It's all about fighting ability when it comes to boxing. Doesn't matter how old, young. If you're ready, you're ready, and I think I'm ready.
For people that haven't watched you fight before Saturday or in your previous fights, talk to me about your style. Is there anyone out there that you're similar to, or you kind of your style could mimic at all, or you just Adrian King?
I would like to say I'm just Adrian King, but I think I can be what I need to be, if that makes sense. Depending on my opponent is what I will be. I've got the ability to use whatever tools I need to win. So if I need this certain tool to win, I can use that. Or if I need that tool to win, I can use that. So it all depends on the fighter I'm fighting.
Very well answered. It was only, about 3 months ago, me and you, not even on camera, we had a kind of long conversation about bringing Hull back to, boxing back to Hull, so to speak. Not saying that that's kind of any coincidence of what's happening today, but it's good to see these shows back in Hull.
Yeah, we were just talking off camera there, weren't we, about some of the nights we had here in the halcyon days of Eddie Hearn and Matchroom were unbelievable. Some great nights in Hull, and unfortunately we haven't had anybody from the area who's been able to carry them shows. And bit by bit, the area has really suffered. And Hull's always produced really good amateurs, really good. But they've never really had that platform to then go and do it as a pro. And once Luke and Tommy retired and I got a little slice of that action, we've not had anything. And like I said, I don't want to put pressure on Adrian. In fact, I don't mind putting pressure on him because I know him, he loves it. We've got somebody here. This area has never ever seen anybody like him. He's a heavyweight that can really light up this area and British boxing. I've said this before. I think Adrian is the best unsigned fighter in the world. The world's a big place, so that's a big statement. That's what I believe. And like you said, people will be like rolling their eyes, think, what you on about? Let's have a chat Sunday after people have seen him, and they'll realise what I mean.
We talk about young heavyweights. Obviously, somebody who's making all the headlines is Moses Itauma, who's 20 years old himself. So, like I said, that age. Moses don't look 20. He don't look 20. But again, it's irrelevant, isn't it? As Adrian said about how old you are. But you keep winning and keep doing your thing, then you'll be knocking on them doors.
Yeah, that's what it's about. You got to focus on what you need to do, focus on your journey, and just look at every fight as it goes. Win after win. That's the plan.
He doesn't like to talk about it much, but do you know he was British champion? He never mentions it ever. Do you know what he does? Do you know, this is how I look at it, right? He's like the whole version of Cole Froch mentioning his British title. 80,000, but you can mention, but rightly so as well. And we'll mention it again, your British title win, which we spoke in depth about a little while ago.
It's something I'm super, super proud of. And still to this day, which, is crazy, Hull has never had a British champion. East Yorkshire has had one British champion, and that's me, which is unbelievable. The size of the area, the amount of quality fighters that have come from this area, and I'm the only one to ever win the British title. And that's why I'm so passionate about getting big-time boxing back here. Because if Luke Campbell hadn't have won the Olympic gold medal, I wouldn't have won the British title. because Eddie Hearn wouldn't have come to wouldn't have come to Hull.
Yeah.
They just signed Darren Hamilton. Darren Hamilton had defended the belt twice. He needed one more easy defence to win the title. I get the call. And then once you get the opportunity, you've got to take it. And I've said to him on Saturday night, you've got an opportunity. Take it. And he will. I know he will.
Is that something you'll look to do, Adrian, to go through like the old school conventional route of kind of the area titles that then go into kind of English, then go into the British? Is that something you'd look to do?
Yeah, I think so. You know, that's what I'd want to do. But obviously, it's all down to my team and what they think's best. You know, I just take the fights. They tell me who I'm fighting, I just take it. That's all I can say, really.
Right, guys, much appreciate your time.
Yeah, of course. So we're looking to secure an area title shot for Adrian before the end of the year.
Okay.
So that is the plan, is to get him in them title fights, them 10 rounders where he can learn and get that experience. You know, take him around, get him that top sparring. And yeah, me personally, I think the route is to go area, English, Commonwealth, British. You know, get them.
It's a bit lost now, that route, isn't it? People kind of go through trying to pick themselves in the rankings ahead of that conventional route that goes and then all the way to European before you get to world level.
Yeah, for sure, because it's the hardest route. That's why, you know, and everyone, especially in the heavyweights, you know, you can skip a few levels and all of a sudden, instead of getting paid 50 grand, you're getting paid $1 million. So I totally understand it, but it's really, really important that we season Adrian. He needs them rounds, you know, because he punches so hard. It's very, very difficult to get him loads of rounds. That's why he has to spar world-class operators with big gloves on, so he can get that seasoning. So it's really important that, like I said, you've got to remember he is 20. And Moses Itauma, because he's 20 and he's a trailblazer, he's kind of a freak of nature. He is a one-off. You know, if he wasn't around, people would be screaming, "Whoa, if I had Adrian, slow down." So they're on different trajectories for sure. There's no doubt they'll fight down the line, though. 100% they'll fight down the line, but they're on different routes. You know, I want a good 3-4 years of seasoning. By the time Adrian's 25, 26, 27, I believe he'll be the heavyweight champion of the world.
Without putting words in your mouth, would you say for where he is in his career, but also we know like Moses is fighting Dillian White, etc. And he's been kind of excelled on that path. But would you say after Moses that of that kind of age group, if you want to group that into like an under 24s or whatever, or under 25 even, this is the next best one?
By a mile. I don't even think it's close. Yeah. And Moses Itauma is brilliant. We love watching him, don't we? You know, he's super. He's got everything. He looks a great prospect. Moses hasn't beaten anyone Adrian wouldn't beat. You know, and take Moses out of the equation. This is the best. If they fought right now, Moses would be a strong favourite, just because he's got miles more experience than Adrian. You ask me that question in 5 years, I think it's a genuine 50-50 fight. This kid's got everything. Everything Moses can do, he can do. Moses has just been doing it a bit longer.
You know, he's just sold it. He's just sold it to us. Adrian, listen, we'll talk to you after your fight on Saturday. So excited to see you fight for the first time. He sent me some clips, but better in person, obviously. Have you got anything else you'd like to say?
No, thank you for having me. Thank you for taking the time to interview me. Obviously, thank you to Izzy for the opportunity. And yeah, that's all I'd like to say.
Roll on Saturday night.
If he gets beat, I'm switching my phone off.
Guys, thank you very much.